world building and character development, thy name is Dune. Yeah, they also could have just called this Setup, and it would have made even more sense. Dune is a new sci-fi epic from the director of Prisoners and Blade Runner 2049, based on the novel by Frank Herbert from 1965. Well, that's being a little generous. It's based on maybe 1/3 of the first book. Because, Hollywood is running out of money and they need our help to bail them out. Yep, they are hobbiting the shit out of this one. The movie is, on a very basic level, about the politics surrounding a very precious substance known as spice and the warring houses that are in conflict over control of a planet that happens to have that spice in abundance. Now, I clarify that statement as being basic because it is very obvious that there is a very rich universe of lore here that is being created. A lot is going on and a lot is introduced. There's advanced technology, mind control powers, rumors of the One, an evil emperor, even shadier villains, sequences of dreams that you just know are gonna come true, and prophecies spoken in the shadows. The list goes on and on. Now here, the movie is beautiful, excellently shot, expertly directed, great performances, incredibly scored, and the CGI seemed pretty top-notch. And it just has that epic feel to it. Like it just knows that it's important, or at least it wants to be. And the high cost of production and passion for this project is obvious in every shot of the movie. Here's the thing, though. This is very clearly a movie for fans, because as someone who hasn't read the books or seen the original movie or watched the miniseries, Dune was boring as shit. It moves along at an absolute snail's pace for the first hour as it explains who these houses are and sets up the people that are involved in those houses and what they need to do, and introducing us to Paul Atreides, who will be the stereotypical one that this movie is going to lay all of its burdens on. Far too many scenes of political banter, characters talking, Paul almost being assassinated by an insect, and some old lady giving Paul the world's most painful manicure do not make for an engaging hour and 2 minutes. Yes, that's how long it takes for something epic to happen in this epic space opera. And even then, it's just a bunch of dirt farmers getting attacked by the local wildlife. And then as soon as that scene ends, you know what happens? You know it has more talking and more politics. Finally, in the third act, things actually start to happen, but the movie hadn't kept my interest to really know why. All I knew is that something had to happen in order to set Paul on the path for his dreams to come true, because it was obvious that that is where this story was going. Yep, headed right into an abrupt ending with the expectation that you're going to open up your wallet again to see the rest of the story. The book is 400 pages. If they hadn't spent so much time trying to make this movie feel far more important than it actually is, then the pacing would have been better, and it would have made for a much more enjoyable movie experience. There's a bit of a time jump in the book as I understand it, so I assume that's where part 2 is going to pick up, but I honestly don't think that I care enough. They did the same thing with It, the novel by Stephen King. They split it into 2 parts when it came to the movies, but that book was over 1,300 pages long. That I get. With Dune, they were just so preoccupied with making sure that we knew absolutely every single little detail on a very personal level that it just made for a snooze fest. Like I said, I do believe this is a movie for the diehard fans. Sure, there will be some that are like me that have not read the book that will enjoy the movie as well. But for me, it wasn't what I wanted, but it was what I expected, because Blade Runner 2049 I found extremely boring as well. I'm just not a fan of this director's science fiction movies, apparently. Let me know when he does another movie very similar to Prisoners, and you will have my interest again. For me, Dune gets a 6 out of 10. It's got all the production quality of a top-notch Hollywood blockbuster, but it is a slog of a first entry that did not convince me to want to check out part 2, and let's be serious, probably part 3 if we're going to follow the trends of Hollywood. So what about you guys? Have you seen Dune yet? You can check it out in theaters or on HBO Max. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one. There's advanced technology, mind control powers, rumors of the One, an evil emperor, even shadier villains. Dang it. There's advanced technology.